All right.
So, Jason and I had a quick discussion of maybe not trying to generalize all of the positions like we are. We kind of got in a little bit of a situation in the courts when all of a sudden all these positions were senior admin assistants or judicial assistants. So what if we just go back to once upon a time, Road and Bridge had equipment operators 1, 2, and 3. But that doesn't mean that landfill has to have landfill operators 1, 2, and 3. Because maybe they only have a need for 2 different categories. Call them landfill operators so they are what they are. And if they need 3, fine, do 1, 2, 3.
Well, it goes back to what I said the other day. Give me your job description then. Give me your job description that says what 1 is, what 2 is, what
Yeah.
3 is.
But
Scott's may be a different job description.
Right.
And they may have a different title, because heavy equipment operator, I mean, like I say, we had people that operated loader in the lower end of the plant, but we also had dozer operators that are going pushing off the cliff at the top of the hill.
that's very
I mean, they
different.
don't get paid the same. It's not the same job.
So that was just a thought, is we can go back to and we can put equipment operators 1, 2, and 3 for Road and Bridge.
We
Move them
go
up
to
the 2
Buddy and
grades.
say, okay, give us the job descriptions.
And then for
Somebody else wants it, we want the job description on it.
Yeah. And then for landfill, we'll see if they've got 3 categories. If they do, we'll do landfill operator 1, 2, and 3, or just 1 and 2.
Yeah, let them make a choice.
Okay.
I think they only have 2.
I would probably agree with that, non-CDL and CDL.
Okay?
I'm trying to see if Buddy's stuff had that information. They'd have a 10 and 11. Oh, they do have a non-CDL, which would be a 9. So they would have a 1, 2, 3. But then that would take care of the issue with the event center having comparable positions, because they're not. So yes on the operators in 2 steps. And then fund that. I can come back with numbers on what it's gonna cost if we use property taxes, or if we ask Road and Bridge to reduce the budget for the 74,000.
And we're not having a meeting tomorrow, so that'll be
Right.
on Monday that we'll have these numbers back.
Right,
So you talking about 2 steps on the new scale, on the 5 scale?
yes, so they get the 3% plus
So did some of those people,
14%.
so some of those people are, it's gonna be huge.
And they have a lot of people that are at market that are gonna get a 1% anyways, because we changed the scale from 14% to 15. So if you were at market, you would get a 3% COLA plus the 1%, which is the 4%, and then if you went 2 steps, that's another 14%. So you would get
Well, if you're
18% raise.
doing something like that, can we not take away the COLA? Not give you the 3%?
No, because we take them off the scale.
Yep.
We need to keep them on the scale,
We're creating the new scale.
So,
which the new scale has the 3% in it.
so figure out both 1 and 2,
Okay,
and we'll talk about it Monday,
okay.
okay? Give us the numbers.
Okay. Then we have Anita's ask.
And that's an easy ask for me.
Okay, so 1 step is okay.
Well, she said she was gonna find the money, so.
And like, that's where I'm at, either way. I mean,
Mhm. She'll find
That one
out.
I
I
don't-
I
told
know where you're at, but I'm
We're not
saying,
asking
are
that
you
much.
sure you know? I'm positive I know. But
And then-
I'm also sure that we need to build a budget that works.
Okay. And then the new position for the landfill, instead of that, we're
Is
gonna
2 temps?
do 2 temps. Okay, so right now we have 15,000 budgeted. Do you wanna do 30,000? Just double it?
Just double it.
Oh, the 15,000's already in there for
Yes.
1 temp?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's what they're using now.
Okay, yeah, let's double it.
Okay. Am I okay to call Dylan and ask him to help me find cuts so that we can fund this? I do need to do June revenues. I don't foresee that they're gonna give me a magic increase to cover all of this ask.
Well, I would think that we need to look at the landfill fees, because again, the usage has gone up so much. We need to make some adjustments of the users to help offset some.
And we're set to do that anyway, to look at fees.
When are we doing that?
When's the fees coming?
Well, Anita said that she did think she was gonna have one.
Oh, she is?
She said that she thought she was gonna have one, so they were gonna come next Thursday, but if we're gonna change landfill fees, then, I mean.
This
is that
Thursday or,
Next
No.
Thursday.
so we got a week?
In a
Yeah,
week.
we've got over a week.
So we should
Are you here
have,
Thursday?
huh?
Are you here?
I'm not here this
They
Thursday.
would have been here,
Oh, it's next
we
week.
would've done
Yeah.
it
So
Thursday
it's
this week.
next
yeah.
Thursday. Let's set that as a goal to have
Okay,
fees
so
on.
I'll get
So-
you the dollar that we need to cover, and then you can,
For landfill?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll just set fees, because I don't even know if we change per tonnage.
Will that get us
We're
there?
just-
And I'll
should,
just tell you
I would
that
think.
the other part of
It'll
that, and I've
easily-
talked to Anita about this, is everybody that is tax exempt doesn't pay landfill fees.
So if that
They
changes,
should
that
be
helps.
paying landfill fees.
Okay.
We got all these apartment complexes
Yes.
that pays a flat fee of $150 instead of a fee per apartment where everybody else is paying $40.
Mhm.
So we need to adjust them things that
Especially with all the multi,
we wouldn't have to
Multifamily.
raise fees if we had all that stuff done. But that's something I think that we need to get going on, and the county needs to get
well,
paid for,
if we can fix that down the road, then we can lower fees.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay, and the
Because
sheriff,
that's a horrible one.
Sheriff ask is okay.
Sheriff office, both in 24 and 25.
Okay. And then, am I missing anything? We're not gonna do noxious mosquito right now.
I'm agreeing with you, no. Sorry, I was
Yes.
doing this, and
We're
Jason was
not.
doing
I
that.
knew what you
Well,
meant. No, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I would like to, in the 1.5 that we talked about, for PIL, I'd like to put $1 million in the budget for overruns instead of the 500,000.
Okay.
I'm just looking at all these projects that we got, and if we got that money there, I'd like to make sure that we finish these projects.
With the hope that we can, now I do have, and I'll try and do an ARPA update next week. We did get the final invoice on the veterans windows, so I'll be able to tell if that one's gonna be over or under. I did get another invoice on the grandstands, which that one's gonna push it over. I'll put in the 65,000 for the fairgrounds building, since I have that number now. It's not paid, and we don't have an invoice, but I can at least allot it there. Then maybe what I'll do is move the rest of that money down to the other building.
I tried to call them 3 times today, coast to coast, and got their answer machine every time.
But that one is supposed to be 65, so then we can see what we need for the fair buildings.
Well, that's plus, 65 for the building, plus the concrete. that we
That's
did.
already paid.
Okay.
That's like 19,000. That
Okay.
one I've already got paid. And then the,
And there'll be electrical and,
for the existing building?
no.
For the sheep barn?
For this new sheep barn and stuff.
Oh, I don't have those costs.
There'll be some electrical there,
Okay,
and what else, something else.
okay. Well, we'll just
The
leave that all
paneling
fluffed
inside
together
the-
then. We did,
Put the sheep grills inside and stuff there, so there's a couple of items there. that-
unless we see if they can cover some of that through their budget
yeah.
and then share in the costs. The veterans brickwork, they originally said they'd be done the 1st. It's actually gonna be maybe the 8th. But I have that last invoice too, so I can add that. That's gonna be a little bit of savings, not a ton. But at least I can update on that. Honestly, probably $1 million. I was starting to panic if 500 wasn't enough, sadly.
Well, and that's, after having our conversation about PIL and stuff, even if we don't spend it, I'd just like it in the budget so that it's available.
With the
for us to-
caveat that anybody that needs to spend that money comes through, well,
Oh.
usually we do that anyways. They have to come before the board.
100%.
Mhm.
And they're
100%.
existing projects, not new projects, right?
Maybe.
Can we get ARPA done before we
Yes.
allocate any of those monies.
Absolutely.
Anywhere else.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Because we gotta make sure those monies are gonna be covered. I don't wanna have a YDC building that we haven't allotted enough for, and then we have to try to figure it out.
No, absolutely.
I got a check mark by the Downey building today, that's supposed to go to the engineer now. And tried to call Blad, he's in a meeting, but I sent him a couple of emails showing him where we were at with 6th Street, and what's going on. Left a message with the secretary saying we need to move forward on this pretty quick. So,
Yeah.
So we will put these in. I'm gonna do one last pass on salaries, just to update it with the most current employees. There might be some turnover, which we might be able to reduce some here and there if we've had any turnover. And then I'll look at revenues again before we meet on Monday. And if by some miracle there's some extra money somewhere, we won't use property taxes.
Well, thanks.
well, and that's always our goal. I mean, it always is, but
Yeah,
I just
I just don't know that a
think that we're at
month's
the point where
change.
How much money do we have in Pilt? He just talked about moving $1 million. How much is actually there?
said 1.5 yesterday.
Cash, I don't know, but reserves, I have, was actually I didn't have this sheet with me yesterday. It's a little over 1.7.
And these changes we're talking about today, do you know how much increase that is to the clerk's recommendation as far as
No.
spending?
I'm not even gonna
Okay.
throw numbers out there.
But we'll know on Monday.
You will know on Monday, yes. Yes. Did I miss anything else? We're adding the road and bridge roof
Okay.
into into road and bridge, sorry, using reserves. The D6 was authorized, bottom line won't change. Planning is authorized, bottom line won't change. On call for juvenile probation, minimal changes.
Yeah,
And then these-
the recommendations that we've had since
Okay,
you put out your deal, I think that we've covered.
Yeah.
okay, I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting something that you guys want or that. Anyways.
There's a lot more wants, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot more
Yeah.
things that are necessary.
Okay.
Oh, you mentioned about the vehicle earlier.
Oh, the lease, yes, we're gonna reduce that. Ag Extension had a vehicle lease, $3,900. We're gonna take that out, because it's paid. And we'll also do a double check over all of these, make sure we didn't miss any other lease payouts, that people thought they had, that they didn't take out. I thought we caught them all, but obviously we didn't. So we'll just do another quick fine tune to see if there's anything else that we missed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No more budget meeting till Monday.
No budget meeting till Monday.
And what time is this on Monday?
I don't know.
Let's see. I don't know that we had it scheduled, did we? I thought we were gonna do tomorrow.
I asked Christie to keep Monday, Tuesday as tentative, just because.
What time are you on on Monday?
Like 10?
Yeah, let's do 10 and then now, why don't you do like 10 and 1:30? That way if there's more that needs discussed after 10 o'clock, we have,
We can come back at 1:30.
yeah. That gives our office time to run numbers if we need to make any changes.
She does have it in there, there's just not times.
Okay.
So 10:30 and 1? Or
10 o'clock and
10:30?
1:30.
Okay.
10 o'clock and 1:30.
Gotcha.
And then if we can cancel it, we will, but it's better to be scheduled.
I agree. All right, thank you, everybody, and we are adjourned.